Hey, what's going on, y'all? So I usually do these videos on Fridays, but I've been slipping the last couple weeks because life has been life. And so 2 weeks ago, I was in Houston doing a book event with the Jack and Jill organization. You all may have seen me do that on my shorts, show some clips of that. And then this past weekend, I had some things to do immediately after work, so didn't get a chance to do this video. But I'll be posting two this week to catch up and get back on track. So the first one for On the Needle this week is none other than Aaliyah. So Aaliyah is one of my favorite artists. In fact, if you get a chance to check out my sister channel, check out the hat. Water Bear podcast. You can get a chance to see on the latest episode Eric Seats, who is one half of Key Beats with Rapture Stewart. So if you don't know Key Beats produced a lot of Aaliyah's music right before she passed away. So songs like Rock the Boat, It's Whatever, Loose Rap, they did actually the bulk of that Aaliyah album. So make sure you check that out. He is a Cancer, so the show is zodiac based. So we dive into Cancer traits and as well as some of the production that he's done over the years and being a professional drummer. So that link will be in the description of this video. But today we're talking about Aaliyah's sophomore album, One in a Million. So this album is classic. And I say this all the time that I feel like if Aaliyah were still alive, a lot of artists, especially female artists that are really big today, I don't think they would be quite as big. Because even though there's room out here for everyone, Aaliyah would be taking up a lot of that shine. That's just my personal opinion. Because not so much for, vocal ability, things like that, but Aaliyah had this swag that it was just, to this day, it's unmatched. I mean, and nobody has the kind of swag that she had and this kind of mystery about her. So this is, I would say, I think this is her biggest selling album. If I remember correctly, it's probably sold about 8 million copies or so worldwide. So I'm so glad that the family decided to release her music now where people can buy it and purchase it. And with every album, I feel like Aaliyah pushed the envelope and she did something that was unexpected. So the first album, of course, she had a lot of songs with R. Kelly producing on that first record. Really great album. The second one is where I feel we really got to know Aaliyah more personally. That's when she became more of a woman. She became sexier. She just had this mystery about her. And shout out to whoever was on A&R for this album because look at the track listing here. So in case you all forgot, or maybe you're not familiar with the songs that were featured on that album, but the picking of the singles here was amazing. I feel like even the order that they were picked. If Your Girl Only Knew is one of my favorite songs. I think it's one of the most underrated Aaliyah tracks. So I love that one. I love, of course, One in a Million. Who doesn't love that song? And Hot Like Fire. I love that one. Although I do like the Hot Like Fire music video version better than the one that's on the album. But the one that's on the album is fire too. Also, 4-Page Letter. That song I feel like is even more classic now because who's writing 4-page letters these days? So it makes it even more nostalgic, more classic. I mean, people probably weren't writing 4-page letters back then either, but definitely not now in this, age of digital and social media that's continuously evolving. No really major frills, I would say, with this album as far as the packaging is concerned. But hey, I'm cool with that. I mean, it's two vinyls. No artwork or slips or anything like that on the inside, but the music is dope, so it's great just to have that. Also, One in a Million, I feel like a lot of artists have redone that song, and I'll say shout out to Tink. She has a song called Million, but if you've heard the song, it's basically a redo of One in a Million. That is hands down the best reworking I've heard of One in a Million. That one is really good. I'd say it kind of rivals the original a little bit, But great, great reworking of that song. Also, I feel like Aaliyah was really good at remakes. Um, to remake two classic songs on this album, Got to Give It Up, from Marvin Gaye. That song, I feel like she did a great job on it. Featured Slick Rick as well. Also, the Choosy Lover, the old school, new school mixture that she did of that, I thought was really dope. She paid homage and didn't really mess up the original, but then she also added her twist there to the end, so kind of showing her creativity and spin on the song. Also, Tretch was on it. So, I mean, it has some pretty cool features here. Of course, Timbaland and Missy were the backbone of this album. And really, I would say Timbaland and Missy owe a lot to Aaliyah for their careers because she was that breakout artist that I feel like really made people pay attention to Timbaland and Missy. So she took those risks. And then when you fast forward, go to, as the streets call it, the Red Album, the Aaliyah album, she did the same thing as well, working with Key Beats. And she kind of changed the sound that she started with One in a Million, which I think is definitely commendable. Um, Also, Diane Warren, who writes a lot of love songs, she wrote the one I gave my heart to on here. So that, well, this track list is pretty small, but it's like next to the last track on there. Um, that was a single too. So this album had about 5 singles. Um, and I actually like the video version of the one I gave my heart to better than the album version too. Um, but it's virtually, I would say, a no skip. Now my favorite album is the Aaliyah album, but this is a very, very close second. So love to hear your thoughts on Aaliyah's album, One in a Million, her classic sophomore album. What are your thoughts on it, and what are some of your favorite tracks from this album, or what are some of your favorite tracks from Aaliyah, period? Definitely would love to know. So as always, thanks everyone for tuning in. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And once you subscribe, please don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever I may go a little bit off script and off schedule and do videos on Mondays or maybe outside of my regular Friday scheduled videos. So thanks again for tuning in, and peace.